The wins that I've had that I continue to celebrate, the ones that stand out to me are getting interviews for fully remote companies that I hadn't gotten before and going through the stages up until the very end.
Gaby, thanks again for taking the time to chat with me today and to share a little bit more about your experience in Beach Commute thus far. And I'd love to kick things off by just hearing a little bit more about kind of your motivation to join a program like this and what brought you to Beach Commute.
Yes, so what brought me here was first finding out about Beach Commute through its podcast with Marissa and Jeff. And it percolated in the back of my mind for a while, having been working in a hybrid capacity, but always becoming very interested in remote work and the possibility of doing something I'd always wanted to do more of, and that was to travel. I have traveled to many countries, but I've never had the opportunity to work in them. So just to begin, this brought me here when my work was starting to become back to in office more than anything. And it just struck me that I needed to learn new skills and learn from people who knew what they knew from experience and who had the resources. And one of the things that made me choose Beach Commute was having seen that they had the Anywhere Atlas that was vetted, hearing Marissa's stories on the podcast, hearing Jeff, and learning about the global community that we would have access to if we would join the program. And knowing that it would be available to us in modules to learn about how to redo our resume in this day. I felt that I really needed a lot of work with that. And being that with remote work, it is global, I especially thought that I could really use the help with the resume piece, because my resume needed a lot of work. It was too long and there was a lot there. It was not ATS optimized. So that was super helpful. Also, all of this about making connections. I know that the backdoor method is something that I'd heard a lot about. And so learning how to do that, to have that support, to have the templates that are built into the program that once you join, that you have access to, that you can keep, that you can grow with. And then the other big piece is the group coaching and the individual coaching with every step of the way. Getting to know other people's stories, that emotional support, the program wouldn't be the same without that part of it, which makes it human, and the experts that are there.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing all of that. And this leads nicely into my second question for you. I know you're still in the middle of the program and have gone through all of those wonderful initial steps of getting your resume updated and really kind of diving in. But I'm wondering if you can share either a mindset shift, a win, or something else that you can celebrate that has happened as you've been part of the program.
Sure. So there have been many. I came to this program and I must have had a good sense of it because I have received not only professional development through the program, but personal development, which is something that's important to me as well. It's also how much you put into it. The wins that I have had, despite a lot of disappointments in the job market right now, the wins that I've had that I continue to celebrate, the ones that stand out to me are getting interviews for fully remote companies that I hadn't gotten before and going through the stages up until the very end, getting to know those people. Also, the amount of learning that I have had by directly using AI, which was not something that I had used. So really learning from the expertise of the coaches in particular, how to use generative AI to our benefit and what we can learn to use from that. That has really propelled me since starting to be able to use it for my cover letters in particular, and to use it for even better messaging whenever there are constraints in place, like character limits. I've used it a lot for that. And other wins that I've had are direct connections with people through using the Dripify program that I've had some wonderful coffee chat video conversations with, and I've learned a lot that I've been able to take from that. And finally, the big mindset shift, I think, for me is the looking at companies first. That is something I've never done, and I've heard other people talk about. Looking at companies first. And even if you are an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, even if you are in that part of your life or your career, always have been, learning to look at what you do like and finding a way to find more of that is something that I had not thought about before. So company first and values and missions are the big things that come forward for me as wins in outlooks.
Perfect. I love that. And last question, do you have any advice that you could share with others who are maybe considering joining Beach Commute, or any other final notes if someone's like on the fence about it?
Beach Commute or any program works for you if you also work for it. So if you are considering really making positive changes and necessary changes to your career, to your outlook, to learning new skills that are needed for today and for remote work and for getting an interview, and you're willing to do the work, don't think twice about it and do all you can to not waste any of the resources or let days go by. Apply as much as you can from the start and don't delay. Show up for those group calls as much as you can. Watch the replays and do the work. If you are willing to do the work, even if you don't think that you can, but you know that you have in the past and that you can approach the work, have confidence that this program will result in nothing but good things.
Perfect. That is advice I could echo over and over again as well. So really appreciate you sharing a little bit more about your experience and some advice for anyone else who may be thinking about the program.